Okay, so we've just done multiplying algebraic terms together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through dividing algebraic terms. So let's have a look further down here. I'm going to scroll down a bit. Okay. What we're doing when we're dividing is we're cancelling common numerical factors first, and then cancelling algebraic pronumerals first. If you notice, we do this in a similar order to when we multiplied algebraic terms. We're dealing with the numbers first, and then after we've dealt with the numbers, we're going to deal with the algebraic pronumerals or the letters afterwards. When we're dividing, what we want to do is we want to cancel out common factors. So we want to see what terms in the number that I'm being divided by can I cancel out from the number that I'm dividing with. So let's have a go at a few examples here. Let's go through and I want to show you what I mean by this. So part A, I've got 4x over 8. Now when you see 4x over 8, that's just the same as doing 4x divided by 8. You don't need to write this step here if you don't want to. I'm just writing it here just so that we can see what's happening here. Now, what I want to do is I want to cancel out common numerical factors first. Then I want to cancel out algebraic pronumerals next. So let's have a look at cancelling out common numerical factors. So I'm going to look at the coefficients first. I'm going to look at here. I've got my 4 and my 8. I've got my 4 and my 8. Now, is there a number that goes into both 4 and 8 that I can cancel out? Well, if you remember, I can cancel out 4 from both of them. 4 goes into 4 once, and 4 goes into 8 twice. So I'm going to actually cancel out 4 from both of them. Now, if you were writing this with a fraction, what you can do is you can cancel them out by drawing a cross through them. I like writing a 1 here because I know 4 goes into 4 once. I know that 4 goes into 8 twice. If you're just dividing, you can just do the very similar thing. I'm just going to do that. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to write what's left over in my fraction. Now over here, I'm going to do it in the fraction form on the left here. So what I've got is I've got 1 times x on the top. That's the 1 over here, and I've got the x left over here. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have 1 times x, which is just x. We talked about this last lesson when we were looking at like terms, but when we see x by itself or any pronumeral by itself, it just means 1 times that pronumeral. On the bottom, I'm going to divide that by whatever's left on the bottom. If you have a look, what's left on the bottom is just this 2 over here. So I'm going to have x over 2. Now, if I did it over here, that's the same as x divided by 2. I just like writing it in this form over here as a fraction. When you're writing division, you usually write it as a fraction. So here, for this first example, I cancelled out the common numerical factors. I looked at the numbers. I found numbers that go into both 4 and 8. We're looking for a factor that goes into both 4 and 8. 4 happens to go into both 4 and also 8. So we cancel it out and write what's left over. Okay, so that's that first example. Part B, 10ab divided by 15b. Same process as before. We're going to look at the numerical numbers. So we're going to look at the coefficients first. Then we're going to look at the pronumerals next. So let's look at the numbers first. So I've got a 10 and a 5. Is there a number that goes into both 10 and 5? 15, I mean. Oh, I've given it away. As I've said, 5 goes into both 10 and 15. How many times does 5 go into 10? It goes into 10 twice. I'm going to write over here in a different color. 5 goes into 10 twice, and 5 goes into 15 3 times. Okay, so I've dealt with my numerical factors. Now I want to deal with my algebraic pronumerals. I want to cancel out common factors in both the terms. What this looks like is I look for common letters in both of the terms that I can cancel out. So let's have a look here. I've got a B. I've got AB in the first term, and I've got B in the second term. What is a common algebraic pronumeral factor that I can take out? Well, if you have a look, both of them have B's. So what I can do is I can cancel out the 2 B's here. And so what I'm left with is, I'm going to write underneath, 2a, so what I'm left over is that 2 at the top here, and I've got an a still left over, divided by 3, the 3 left over here. Now how I like writing that is, as I said before, I like writing this as a fraction. So I'm going to actually write this as 2a over 3. So when we're dividing algebraic terms, the step is a little bit different. Instead of writing them together and multiplying my terms together, I want to divide them. I want to cancel out, firstly, my numerical factors. So I will look at the coefficients before my letters. And then secondly, I want to look at cancelling my algebraic pronumerals. So I want to look at cancelling my letters. And I look at which letters do I have common in both of my algebraic terms, and I cancel them out.